Today is August the 30th. So here's what I want you to, first place, everybody okay with what we've been doing? Nobody says exploded? I put some problems out there for the previous chapter.
I actually do have a question on the homework.
Okay.
Okay, there was one question that it was like $1,200 off or something like that. $1,200 off certain thing for a Volvo.
Yeah, the Chevrolet.
Yeah.
Volt.
Yeah.
There you go. But it was really weird and really kind of confused because in order to get the right answer, you had to subtract the $1,200 from the price and then divide it by the 0.125 or something like that.
Yep.
Well, that confused me because I thought we just had to do I guess maybe it does kind of make sense, but it just didn't.
Because it was like problem 659, and I did it both ways.
Is this homework that we got on Tuesday, or is this the packet?
Tuesday.
Can I get some homework for Tuesday just for the practice?
It's in here.
Oh, it's on Blackboard. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I did the video yesterday and I forgot to email you back and tell you it was there. That's interesting. Access denied. What's up with that? Let's just kill that whole thing.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Hold on, I was going to say I might be able to get into it. Yeah, you have to figure out the original price and then divide the actual money increase by the original price by the percentage.
Huh.
That was a weird one. Yeah.
My session is expired.
Because they don't give you that original one. Okay, here's the actual question. It said Chevrolet raised the base price of its Volt by $1,200.
What number is this?
Number 6.
Chapter 6. What number is it?
No,
Number 6
6.
on the chapter 6 word problem.
Yeah.
It's not. I did it in the book.
Number 58 or 85.
So we lose the number when I assign them like that. It becomes chapter number 6, although it's actually 85 in the book. Boy, that's just another feature, isn't it? Yeah, let's just make us all confused.
But it liked me this time, so it might be more.
All right, Chevrolet raised the base price of its Volt by $1,200 to $33,500. What is the percent increase? Round this to the nearest tenth. Okay, so let's get over here. So this is chapter 6 homework online, number 6, number 85 in the book. Wow, that's just marvelous. Have to keep up with more things. So the base price went from, well, we're not told what it went from, are we? We're told what it went to. So you can look at it like this. The new price equals the old price plus $1,200, wouldn't it? Okay, and we're told that the new price is $33,500. So that's the old price plus $1,200. So if you take the $1,200 from, oh, I've got in a hurry there. $1,200 from 33.5, that gives you what? 32,300. All right. Okay. So this becomes our base, doesn't it? Or is the base what we're looking for?
We're looking for the percentage.
Yeah.
We're looking for the rate.
Well, this is the base. So that's the base, and the 1200 would be the what? Yep, that's how much it went up. And what we're looking for is the percentage, and that, of course, is the rate. So, wrong button. Portion equals base times the rate. Do we need to readjust our formula here? We know the portion. We're looking for R, aren't we?
Yeah, we got to put power.
So we need to rearrange this, don't we? So the portion divided by the base equals the rate. Everybody okay with that? And I'll just go out here to the side. The portion is $1,200. The base, the original price, is $32,300. And then calculator. And I've got to open one up. Wrong one. Wrong one. Clear 1200 divided by 3,300. Okay, now that is a what? That's a decimal. Forgot a zero, didn't I? We change that into a percentage, and I got 3.7. So this number here, I can multiply that by what? 100 and get by 3.7?
I guess just the wording kind of threw me off.
Yeah. I think their
You've
point
been
there
reading
was,
for some time now, but you haven't stopped to practice. Regularly practicing what you've read helps you strengthen comprehension and retention. Click Practice to get the questions that are ready for you.
that's really not the first time I've heard this voice. Let's see, where are we? I would hope. I don't know if there's somewhere in here I can turn that off. I can always do it here. Okay. Yeah, I think the whole point of this one is just learn to point out that you have to teach, or you have to read carefully.
You have to figure out two instead of figuring out.
Yeah, there's an intermediate step here. Because the base is the old price. Minus, well, you got to solve for the old price, and that becomes the base. Okay? Well, I've learned 2 or 3 things. And when I assigned this problem here, it was number 85. But I guess when you looked at it, it became number 6. Don't you just love it? So now every time you tell me that you're having trouble with number 4, it's like, well, boy, I wonder what that is. I don't like this whole setup. All right, is everybody okay? So far, so good? If I fix Braylon's 0, she'll be good. I got you. We'll fix it. Let's do this. Let's go on into chapter 7. which is on trade and cash discounts. So let's I was thinking about showing you something in the book, but it may be better if I just put it in my own words. First thing we're going to look at are trade discounts. These are discounts given to actually what they're going to be doing here, you're going to be reselling. So resellers in the trade. Now, so far that don't make any sense at all, does it? I hate it when somebody uses the word in the definition of the word. I mean, what's that tell you? Isn't it kind of a circle thing? Okay, now here's what it really means. You watch TV, there's a new car. Maybe it says the manufactured suggested retail price equals what, $24,999. Okay, you can't buy much for $25,000 anymore. Now, that's the manufacturer's suggested retail price. Do you think your local car dealership pays that? No. So, your local Chevy dealer might, now it's more complicated than this, but I think this is an example that will make sense to you, might get how about a 15% trade discount? Okay? So what that means is, if you take 15% from 100%, what do you get? 85%. That's actually 85% times the $24,999 is actually what your Chevy dealer pays for the car. Okay? That's because they're in the trade. They're all car dealers. Now, that means that 15%, if you go in there and think, well, this is a $25,000 car, your Chevy dealer's got a certain amount of money there that if you pay the $25,000 for, that's profit for them. But if they're willing to make a deal today, they may say, I'll sell you this for $24,499, $500 off. Okay? You think you're getting a deal, but they're still making money because they've got a 15% cushion. And I'm just making these numbers up, by the way, because the car thing is much more complicated than that. But that's the concept. Okay? So, I think probably the next thing we need to know here is, how do you figure this? How do you figure trade discounts? That's what we want to know, isn't it? Here's what I do. Now, there's two ways you can do this. Number one, we could have figured out what 15% was of $24,999 and then subtracted that from the $24,999. And that's what the Chevy dealer would have paid to the Chevrolet Motor Company. The simplest way is to do this. 15%, turn it into a decimal, and then get the complement. This is what the book uses, I think, the word, and that's what I use. The complement is 1 minus 0.15 equals 0.85. Where do you think the 1 came from? 100%. That's what that means, 100%. So we're taking 100% Subtracting the 15% trade discount from it, that leaves us with 85%. So the invoice with the trade discount is going to be $24,999 times 0.85. Calculator. .85. I've subtracted. I need to multiply it, don't I? Second entry. Notice with this cool calculator, I can make this little heady thing move right there. So 21, 249, 15. Let me clean that up a little bit. Take screenshot. Now, I figured out what the invoice would be. Sometimes you might want to know what the amount of the discount is. Well, that's just going to be the difference between $24,999 and that number right there. Or you could multiply $24,999 times 0.15, which is the amount of the discount. And if you got this fancy calculator, all you got to do is this. Second enter, put a 1 there. So I'm going to add a line here. The amount of the discount itself was $3,749.85. Now that's also potential profit to your local Chevrolet dealership. Because I'm pretty sure, well, there are actually occasions when people will pay more than the list price for a car. You know when that would be? If there's like 10 of them in the whole United States and 10,000 people want it. Okay. It happens every once in a while, but not very often. Because most of the time there's plenty of cars of that particular type. Now the point is, for these trade things, if you knew, for example, that typically, say you need a new washing machine, okay, and you found one that cost $800, and you knew that typically the trade discount in the home appliance business was about 30%. So what's 30% of 800? It's $40. So if you went into your local, I don't know if you could do this at Lowe's, I don't know if they'll deal with you or not, but you know, in the old days, you could go downtown, and it was Jack Kirk, wasn't it? Sold appliances downtown, I think. Anyway, there are places downtown that sold appliances. You go in there and say, you say to yourself, I know you're making about $240 on this. I'll give you $700 for this. They might take it. Okay? But anyway, this is the whole idea of trade discounts. There's a manufacturer's suggested retail price, but that's not what the reseller pays for it. Okay? So, and these are pretty simple. We like simple, don't we? Here's what you need to remember, besides what I've showed you so far. Take trade discounts first. You notice the name of this chapter is Discounts, Trade, and Cash. Cash discounts are something else, but you take the trade discounts first. Okay. The big thing to remember here is this whole little process right here. Take the trade discount, turn it into a decimal, subtract it from 1, and then use that to multiply by the original invoice, and that gets you to where the new invoice price. Okay? Now, if the question says what was the amount of the discount, then you just take the trade discount amount. Okay? So on this one, if you add $3,745.85 to $21,249.15, you're going to get back to the original $24,999. Okay? So how many people actually have a hard copy of the book? Not everybody. Well, let's see if we can find a problem. Boy, we're going back into the online book. This might not go well. So that's the Smart Book. I need to be no. So I was trying to figure out here, I wonder if the book goes on up and actually shows you the problems. Let me try that. Let's try this first. Can I put a number in here? I can. 196. See what happens here. Okay, apparently the numbers here, well, why did it switch back to 187? I told it to go to a certain place. I'm just not sure how this whole book thing works. By the way, this could be another potential problem if you don't have a hard copy of the book. Remind me, I need to make a copy of either Table 7.1 or something similar. I've actually seen ones I like better. This is the exact days in a year calendar. What this means is today's what? August the what? Well, see, here's the August column, and you come down to the 30 row, and that would be right there, I think. August, September, yeah. This is the 242nd day of the year. Okay, and that's useful. So I need to make you a copy of this, because we go back to this all the time. Let me see if I can get on to the end of the chapter.
You know, at the end of that, there's like a practice quiz. That's what it's called.
But is that what I'm looking at, or is this just a quiz? End of chapter problems. See, this is where I was trying to go a while ago, 199. Why is that grayed out? The text is dim because right now it doesn't like me. It's less relevant for you to study. You can always reveal a text by clicking it. Okay. Click. Click. I'm clicking.
Are you left clicking or right clicking?
Because I right clicked, and then it popped up.
Select all. I like the blue. I think that was a right click, by the way. I think we're making progress here. That's a pretty blue. It's kind of a soothing color, isn't it?
Yeah.
I need soothing. Shoot. Let me see if we can find a problem right here. A couple to do. Now, next, this is what it looks like in the book. In your probably you have this in your printed copy. Those of you who have the printed copies. What I typically try to do here would be work some of the even ones. Now, notice here that this 1, 2, and 3 talks about a chain discount. Well, we haven't done that yet. Okay. So I need to find a problem that we've actually done. And I don't think there's any of these we've done. I have a real problem with the
word problem 721 that says the list price of a smartphone is $299. A mobile Samsung given receipts with trade discount of 20%.
Okay, I think we can do that one. We can do 722 as well. Well, unfortunately, it won't let me cut and paste.
Well, when you select all, that's what it means.
Yeah, I know. How do I unselect all?
You could probably just click off the side.
I've been trying that.
Yeah, that's what he's been trying to do. Oh, there we go.
I guess I can't remember if that was a right click or a left click. Shoot, boy, this is hard. All right, let's try to do this one. Paste. Wait for it. 722. By the way, as you look through the problems, this little thing right here, LU stands for Learning Unit, and this is Learning Unit 7-1-1. So that's the part we just got through going over. I guess the online book is written that way as well. I hope. So, before I forget, I want to show you something in the book. So I'm going to back up a little bit. I hope. I don't think it's in here. $196. That's interesting. There's something in the printed book that's not in here. And it's a really handy thing. It's called the Interactive Chapter Organizer. Look in the printed copies and see what you got on page 196. What's it look like? Let me see. Oh. But they're really handy. Apparently it's not in the online book. So, what I probably need to do is make myself a little note. And those of you who don't have paper copies, I need to make y'all copies of what's in this book, because it's handy once you learn how to use them. All right, let's work this problem. A model NASCAR race car lists for $79.99 with a trade discount of 40%. What is the net price of the car? I don't know if I like the terminology net price there. I don't like that terminology. What we're trying to define here is what the reseller of the car actually paid for it. So I don't think net is the proper term. Anyway, so this is one of my problems with this chapter is I don't like some of the terminology. Well, let's do this. 40% is what? 0.40. So the complement of this is 1 minus 0.4, or what? 0.6. Okay. So I'm going to call it, instead of the net price, I'm going to just say reseller invoice. Is everybody okay with this idea, reseller? Okay, somebody made this thing, probably made several of them. Actually, they contracted with some place in China that made this, okay, and shipped it over. Seriously, I'm not making this up. You can go online, I've never done it, but you can go online and find places in China that'll make anything you want. Maybe not an atomic bomb, but pretty close. And they will make it and ship it over for you. Okay? So anyway, what I'm talking about is the person who bought the car, these model cars, with the express intention of selling them again and making some money on it. Okay? So that's why I'm calling them a reseller. So the list is $79.99. And the complement of the discount is 0.6. And that's going to give us what we have to pay for this, assuming we're going to resell this. 79.79 or 79.99. Shoot. You know, it is Thursday, isn't it? I don't remember what happened on Monday or Tuesday. What'd y'all get? And this is money, so I'm going to 2 decimal places. So I got 47.994, so they round down. Now, let's think about this. If the car sells for $79.99, the reseller makes how much? Well, he makes $79.99 minus $47.99, which is what he paid for it, or she paid for it. And that's what, $22? Or 30? How much is that? $32, isn't it? 80. Yeah, it's about $32. Y'all get that? And I wrote it down. Yeah. It's about 32, isn't it? Okay. Now, technically this is profit, but reseller has what? Rent, people working for them, insurance, utilities, etc. So all that's got to come out of that $32. Do what? We're going to need to sell more than one, aren't we? Hey, this retail's a tough business. I just wanted to point out to you, it's not all gravy. There's a reason that we want our local car shop to be able to stay in the business. Okay? Of course, you know, the problem is nowadays people will go into the store and say, boy, look at that cool car. Let's go home and order it online. And that's really putting a squeeze on, you know, what they call brick and mortar stores, because they're not making the money and they can't pay, you know, the utilities and the rent, and it's a problem. Okay, so support your local whatever. I almost said that. I thought that's probably not a good example. But you know, it does create a whole lot of problems. Of course, some of us have the benefit of years of looking at all this stuff. But of course, I grew up before online, and it just seems like in the old days you could go to Penny's and they had more stuff. Okay, I get mad every time I go to Penny's because they don't have anything. Yeah, they don't have anything. And then they fuss about they can't stay in business. Well, I'm going to have to order it online because you don't have what I want.
I think somebody actually told me they were going out of business.
I think they're probably in trouble. Although retail in general has been having trouble. Although last quarter Macy's did really well. Heard it on the radio. Don't know why.
Well, I heard that when the girl came to the jail that works there. She said, you're going to make me lose my job and I'm not going to have it very long. So.
Well, but this is some of the problems that they're having. People go buy stuff online. Yeah, pretty soon the Amazon drones is going to come drop it in your land. There it is. Whatever it is.
I'm going to go buy a new phone this morning.
What?
And it was $179.99 at Walmart. A woman out there that was actually working there told me, she said, you can go to Amazon and buy this for $99.99. That saves me $80, honey. Yes, I'm going to do it. But, yeah.
Kind of have to wonder about her motivations, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, she said that's where she got hers. So, I guess people, you know what, in all honesty, if I was working a job like that, I wouldn't really be wanting to pay attention to that kind of stuff either. I guess, because I mean, I never really thought about it like that until right now. Like, doing this.
I had a thought and I forgot what it was.
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault. Did I mention the Swiss cheese?
Yeah.
Oh, it'll come to me in a minute. But it was something I was going to interject there. Yeah, retail's tough. Very tough. Oh, well, I can't remember what it was. Well, let's see. I think I may have actually put chapter 7 out there. I think I did. So what I want you to do is glance over the next section, well, the next couple sections, rest of the chapter. What you find out in here are what we did today is just a single trade discount. You can actually have chain discounts, and for the life of me, I've yet to figure out why this is so. I guess it just gives the manufacturer some flexibility. Maybe if you're a good customer, you get a separate little extra discount. So next time I'll show you how you calculate these chain discounts. And also, before that, we talk about some terms related to shipping. Well, it's not that bad, really. The shipping, you just have to remember to add it at the right time and put it in the right place. There's no discounts on shipping. Shipping is just shipping. Okay? So you don't have to worry about that. And then after we get shipping and chain discounts, we get into cash discounts and partial payments. I usually wait and do partial payments on a different day, just because that's a lot to try to, absorb. They're not that bad, just take a little time. Okay? So I think we should declare victory, whether we are victorious or not.
Sorry.
I'll try to find a program, a problem or two for homework.
So is that something that we do need to do, like on the chapter 7, like the practices? Is that something that you want us to start doing?
It's a lot of the stuff, as far as I'm concerned, it's for your own benefit. If you want it, fine. If you don't think you need it, I don't care.
I don't want it, but I want it.
Do you need it? So you didn't listen to me. Do you need it?
See, that's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
don't want
thinking.
zero.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
I'm going to have to go in here and look around and see if there are options. I've never played with all the. I just now figured out kind of somewhat, consistently be able to assign something.
We need one class period that we can just focus on that book and figure out what's going on with it.
Oh.
And why it's being mean. There you go. She got it.
I don't know. All right, well, y'all have a good weekend. By the way, we get the extra day off this weekend. It's Labor Day. Whether you're working hard or not, you get a Labor Day. Okay? So y'all be careful. Don't do anything that's stupid.